Another coin night. Let's see, coin night. No, coin roll hunting. Bubba. Roll reveal here. This is number 6611. It's the 666th different roll that we have done on copper coins since 2018 when we started this little program. I do have something special and extra this time around. The other day when we sold spots in this, we had 2 spots remaining that were not sold. If anybody wants to call for them now, I can go ahead and write your name on these and place them in the last slots in the roll and get going. Otherwise, these will stay with the house. Whichever way you guys want to do it, first person to speak for them gets them. Let's do it one at a time at first, and if anybody wants the other one and no one else does, then we'll put you on both. But we'll do it one at a time to start. Anybody who's in here right now who wants to take one of the spots that I have, right here, this is going to be places 49 and 50 in the roll. Mickey takes one of them. What about the other? Mickey gets number 49, and Dirty Water gets number 50. Appreciate it, guys. Get these put in here real quick. And we're ready. Here we go. Open up this 1954 S roll. Pretty nice looking roll. Through and throughout. Got just a few regular normal issues that 54S sometimes has. H.E. Harris tube. I hate these things. So this one goes in the bin from Mickey because he uses them. Mickey isn't picky. That rhymed. Mickey isn't picky about his tubes. All right. That is taken care of now for coin number 1. Here we go. Stan the man. Okay. Dirty Water wants his to go to Eric instead. So I will write it on there a little better. There. All right. Your number 50 is now going to be starting first class. Eric. There it is. Right there. Got it. All right. First coin. Stan. Let's see what Stan gets. First coin here. One nice double die obverse that I know of. A couple of other really minor double die obverses possible. A number of RPMs possible. And we have here some breaks in the surface due to contamination on the surface of the die. This is actually struck through a cluttered matter like grease. No double die reverses that we know of. Oh, look at that. Huge die break right there. Really nice. It's not quite a pre-cut because it doesn't go back to the rim. Kind of comes down inside the greens there and just comes to an end. That's interesting. That's kind of neat. Got nothing else on the reverse of this, and a little bit more of that fugly stuff that ends up on the surface of the die and shows up on the coins when the die strikes it. The die was dirty, basically. That's what that boils down to. Now coin number 2 here. This one goes to Eric Maith. And there is the beginning to a nice die chip right there inside the 5. Nice little die chip inside the 5 there. And otherwise a pretty late die state example. You've got a die chip on the top of the E and near the bottom of the B, about to connect into a bi-error. And this has got all kinds of issues and things going on. Got die crack there on the reverse side. Nope, that's not a die crack. Never mind. I thought it was a die crack there for a moment. All right. The Erics. Now we go for Sissy. Sissy. Let's see what Sissy gets here. Okay, this one, because of mint mark position alone, I'm going to say has some possibility of being a double die. Let's check. Nope. The double die number 1 has the S kind of low below the 5. I always check for that. I watch for that, so I don't miss that double die when it does come around. Couple of die chips there. Bunch of die chips and cracking and stuff going on the reverses of some of these. Interesting coins. Or as my brother would say, interesting. JJ Addict. Pops up here for a coin. Let's see what he gets. No doubling. Check this side real quick. There's a big nifty die break there going on in the upper left wheat. Give you something to look at, right? Chubby Pop Chaser comes up next. Chubby Pop Chaser gets... It's not an RPM or a double die. I think the minor double dies I was thinking of was actually 54 Philadelphia in Denver. I'm not sure if the San Francisco version comes with any of the ones that have the doubling on the 4. Philly and Denver do. And I bit the same place on my tongue like 4 times today. That's what happens when they shoot that number stuff in your jaw. You end up biting your tongue or your lip or something. And that definitely happened to me today. All right, coming round to the reverse to see what we can see on this side. Almost done. Looking at the reverse sides of these for doubling and additional other things. We've got plenty of die cracks on these. So pretty much everyone's going to get something kind of interesting to look at on the reverse, so you should make sure you flip them over and take a good look. That was coin number 6, Indigenous Treasures, Bethlehem. Moving on now, coin number 7. Coin number 7 to Dan McCumber. And Dan gets... No, it's not an RPM. Don't see any doubling on it. So, flip it over here. And again, we have a number of die chips and breaks and things going on in the reverse. That's even an earlier die state coin with breaks all over the reverse. It must be that that reverse was not properly annealed. It wasn't properly hardened. It's not common do you see this many cracks and breaks and things going on with such an early design. That's a mid die state reverse. Coin number 8 now, Dirty Water. Dirty Water gets, looks like a normal coin. think this is the same die that I almost mistook for the double die earlier. Yes, it is. So I have some chipping on the reverse. There, that, and then you've got some over here too. This one was on the end of the roll, evidently. It's got some pretty nice looking wood grain stuff going on. It's actually really pretty. I get it under the light and look at it. I'm like, oh, that is kind of neat. Okay, here we go. Mickey. Yeah, no die variety on the obverse. Let's check the reverse real quick. And we have kind of the same basic stuff that we had going on with the others. It's raining down cracks everywhere. Cracks and chips. Oh, that's an interesting big mark right there. Those are the kinds of things that make awesome markers. The only problem is you need a reason to have a marker. Hello, Parviz. Next will be Mark Thomas. See what we have. They're relatively early die state coins. I mean, these things are nice early, mid to mid die state coins. And it looks like the dies are just crumbling. Hello, Aunt. Good evening. For the people more recently joining in, I have no AC right now. Our temperature is going down just a bit. It was 84 when I started today, or this evening. Now it's 82, going down, the temperature getting a little bit easier to sit with. I have no air conditioning. My unit decided to take a dump today. So this was actually yesterday this happened. And we are awaiting delivery of a brand new unit, which is going to cost us a mint, but what do you do? At least we're going to have really good heat through the winter. There's another one of those ones with a crack in the lower part of the 5 of the date. Shadow Afton. What we have to do in this is you have to register with us. Registration is very simple. It's very easy. All you do is you send your regular name, your genuine name, your YouTube username, and the email address to which I will be sending a PayPal email invoice. And that's how you pay, is we send you an invoice, and then you pay for the invoice. We do these on Monday evenings. We sell the spots on this program, and then throughout the week we go through the rolls, and people get the coins. Ooh, looky there, RPM, first RPM in the roll. This one's for Eric Buyer, Eric. And then throughout the week we open these rolls, and the coins inside go to the people who purchased the spots in the rolls. Spots are selected at random. Coins are selected as they come out of the original roll they come out of. We don't mix anything up. We don't pre-search anything. I don't know what's in these rolls before I start. All right, for Carl. Carl now. Looks like one of the normal coins we've been seeing in this roll. But Shadow Afton, the entire thing sounds like it's a little more complicated than it actually is. It's actually far easier than it seems. Somebody put my email address up there for him, the coppercoinspayments@gmail.com. And Shadow Afton, you can go to that email address to send your information, and we'll get you registered so that you can participate in the purchase show, the Roll Reveal show, which comes up every Monday evening. We also have a live auction on YouTube every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. One registration gets you into everything. Oh, it is on the screen. Yeah. Thank you, Mickey. Dirty Water gets a spot right here. Let's see what Dirty Water gets. I don't see anything. We have nothing to see. 2009 D Dime. Wow. Those things are tough. Wish I'd been paying attention back in 2009. Oh, there's another RPM. This is the same one that Eric got. This one's for Carl. Same RPM as Eric. Who wants to identify it? You have this die scratch right up here to help you out. And there's this big die dot down below the S near the rim. The S is directly underneath the 5 and about a letter thickness away from the 5. But the center of the S is almost directly beneath the left edge of the 5. Ant says it could be number 6. Ant says it is 6. Okay. So 1mm6 coming up in this roll. Here's Paul Hampton. Paul. Another one. 1mm6 right there. Thank you, Ant, for making that identification for us. That way we all know what it is. Got one for Paul. Pretty nice looking coins too. I mean, these things are easily 64, possible 65 red. And for Eric, his first normal coin here. Just a normal coin. Whew. Once in a while, the cooler air from outside comes in through my window. The fan that I have in the hallway pulls it through. And man, for just a second, it gets as cool as it could be in here. And then it goes back to normal. Number 20. Taco John. Another normal coin. Another normal one. Nice condition, but it's a normal coin. All right, here, number 21. Sureg. What does Sureg get? Yeah, it's another normal one. Not an RPM. Not a double die. It's got a bunch of little spots that struck through grime that was on the die. Stuff that was stuck to the die. Unfortunately, that will affect the grade of the coin. The graders will look at it and see that roughness on there, and they'll say, those are hits. And they won't even give it a second look to know that they're not. So, while things like that are not supposed to affect the grade of a coin, they will, because the graders don't look at them close enough to notice exactly what that is and discount it from their assumption of grade. They'll go ahead and grade right through it. And, well, to an effect, you'll get crap grades for it. Cooler filled with ice sitting in front of the fan. Yeah. I've got the fan pointed the other direction because I have a window in the front of the house and a window in the back of the house. And the window in the back of the house is right next to my desk. The window in the front of the house is way up in my shipping department. And I have both windows open with a fan right in between them, pulling the back toward the front so it'll come into the window next to my chair where I happen to be sitting. And, well, if it were 5 degrees cooler outside, it would really work well. All right, for Sissy now. Well, that's another one of those ones with a break inside the 5. A little crack on the forehead in a very late dye state obverse. A couple little breaks in and around the Liberty area. It's a dye we've seen quite a number of times. Here now, coin number 25. Taco John. Your shipping department is your bathroom. There's another one. Same dye again. So it'll have a couple of little dye breaks in the Liberty area. All right, here we go. Paul Hampton. Up next, Paul Hampton gets... This is another one of the normal coins. The reason I know this ahead of time, as I'm looking through these, as soon as I see the coin, see the position of the mint mark, and see a marker or two, I've got most of the markers in this roll memorized at this point and know the ones that will or will not have the good stuff. It's part of my job. It's what I do. It's another normal one here. This was a roll ender at one point in time. Yep, the reverse is nice and clean looking. Except for that huge die break that we've got going on the left wheat. This one's kind of a neat reverse. That's why I wanted to look at it a little more closely. All right. 24-7 Bills over Dolphins. Well, that's not exactly where I thought this was going. But hey, it's just football, right? And this one's going to turn out to be another normal coin. But hey, it is what it is. I am going to take off after this broadcast and go downstairs and spend time with my wonderful bride because it's cooler down there. I'm getting a little bit sweaty up here. Coins and ghouls up next. Well, the thing is, the pro picks on this game went 77% for the Dolphins. So I figured, well, 77% for the Dolphins. Nah, I'll go ahead and go with the odds on that game because I don't really like either team and don't know much about either one. I know that the Bills did pretty well a couple of seasons ago, but Dolphins have been doing better last year anyway. Coin number 30, Frosty. Nice bright coin, beautiful looking coin. It's got that die break in it, so we know it's going to have the chips in Liberty. 'Tis an original roll for sure. Coin number 31 now. Mr. Math. Same die. Same die. Of course you went Bills. You went Bills because they're winning and I didn't pick them. I just don't know what confidence strength I had in that game. I think it was kind of low. What is the Black Beauty? I found a black quarter in my change. What you're actually looking for are nickels. Black Beauty are nickels that were made back in the 60s, 50s and 60s. And the way they were prepared, I think it was the way the planchets were annealed. They ended up a real dark gunmetal color instead of silver like nickels normally are. You had a confidence strength of 12 for the Bills. Of course you did, because I didn't. That'll make it more interesting. Nada on this one. Well, I mean, I know that the game's not over, but I mean, heck, a lot of games when you've got a 20-something score against a single-digit score, that usually tends to be how the game turns out overall. You know, something like, 30-20 or something like that. Absolutely, Parv is no problem at all, sir. I've run into a few black beauties in my time, but they're not very common. And I don't know if over the last 5 or 10 years they've kept much of a market. I know they used to have a pretty decent market on eBay. They would sell for pretty good money. I don't know if they still do, because I don't really follow the Jefferson Nickel segment of the market. Well, it looks like it's going to be a normal one, although I haven't seen this die that I know of. Might have, but I don't remember it. Let's look at the reverse on this one, because I think, yeah, we've seen the reverse on this before. Yeah, another one over here. Yep. Over here. Yep, we've seen it. Just I didn't really recognize the obverse on that one for some reason. $1959 is the most common year for the Black Beauties. And Ant says he thinks they're still popular, which I wouldn't argue that point. I think for Jefferson Nickel collectors, there are a few different things that are pretty popular. That being one of them, the Henning nickels. So actually, one of the bigger collectibles in the Jefferson Nickel series is the Jefferson nickels that are not real. That's interesting. Well, look at all the cracks in that. Crack, 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 crack. This one seems to be a crack addict. Speaking of crack, I think I'm going to do that tomorrow. Go to my chiropractor and get cracked. What, even one of you think I meant that I was going to go get some crack and smoke it? No. Holes, no. I don't do that stuff. It's a good way to ruin your life. Anybody who does it, you need to quit. You need to go get away from that stuff. Tengo una moneda of 1954D de trigo. Okay. Jorge Luis Ventura Trujillo. Welcome. I hope you can understand some English, because my Spanish doesn't feel like coming out right now. I ordered my food in Spanish a couple of days ago and was very disappointed because the lady taking my order didn't understand English and she didn't listen in Spanish. So I wasted my effort. Well, I imagine Henning nickels are hard to find. I mean, he made less than a quarter million of them. And there have been millions and millions and millions of nickels made since then. So there weren't a whole lot of them made to begin with. And that was done. When was that done? That was done 50, 60, almost 70 years ago. So, yeah, the idea that most of them are gone from change is very real. Doug, the Four, the case of the Vanishing Four. So I have a question for you guys. If any of you happen to be a fan and happen to know where I can get some good info, I am sort of a fan of the old radio shows, the old mystery radio shows from the 30s and 40s, what they used to put out on the radio for people to listen to instead of watching TV because, well, TV just wasn't a thing. I'm looking for some place that rebroadcasts those so that I can listen to them. If anybody ever watches or listens to any of that, like on any kind of podcast or anything to that effect, I would like to know if you can give me a title or send me a link. I would love to hear some more of those. If you give me a good idea of where to go, how to get to them, how to listen, I would very much like to hear radio shows like that. Eric, I don't know. I haven't ever really searched them out. I heard some in my car years and years ago. It was on a radio station in Oklahoma, and I just really like it. Johnny Dollar. I've never heard of that. I was thinking you like Dick Tracy or anything like that. You know, anything that develops a picture, develops a story, perhaps a mystery, murder mystery type stuff, detective shows. You know, the type of stuff that they used to put on the radio back between 1930 and 1950. Eric, again, Eric Maith right here gets one that's a normal. See that sideways V under the 9, and then the S is directly under the 5? I have memorized that marker, and that is something that is repeating time and time again in this roll. It has nothing on it. Action-packed insurance investigator. That's interesting enough. How do I find those? Is there a station channel or like a iHeartRadio channel or anything like that I go to find those? Google. Okay. What's going on here? Oh, good Lord. I only had 49 coins in here, so I will not be charging number 50 because it doesn't exist. Here's Indigenous Treasures now for coin number 48. There are only 49 coins in this roll. My apology to Sergeant First Class Eric. There is no coin to charge you for. I don't know how that happened. That's kind of freaky. All right, well, number 49, Mickey. Last coin in the roll. And it's one with the die break. So we ran into just a small run of RPM number 6. We got 3 examples in the roll. Most of the rest of the coins have some abnormality or another, but none of them are especially rare types or valuable types or anything. They're just interesting. Something fun. Fun to have, fun to look at. I apologize again because the flip inserts were created by machine a long time ago. They will have the number 666 on them, but I was sensitive enough to change for the superstitious in us the actual number to 6611, but the actual flip insert still has the number 666 on it. Well, now we are done and we're past that. We are moving along, and I appreciate it. Thanks for the link, Eric. I think I'll use that link and see what I can find on it. All right. You guys have a great night, and I will talk to you next time we come around. And that will be Saturday, I believe. Tomorrow my wife has the day off work, and we're going to get the heck out of this hothouse. So I'll see you guys on Saturday. Be good. Talk to you then.